I'm going to show you the two cycles of the crypto markets and how you can trade them to realistically reach almost 300x in 12 years. Let's get into it. Begin by looking at the market cycle. This is the big cycle that tells us when it's a bull market and when it's a bear market. It tells us when to enter and when to exit crypto. It does not tell us what to do. It only tells us when to do it. So you can see in the chart here, we have huge bull markets where the prices go up, and we have big bear markets where the price goes down. Trading the market cycle is all about timing these huge swings. Again, it doesn't tell us what to do during the bull markets. It only tells us this is a time to be in crypto. The market cycle, that's all about Bitcoin. It just shows what Bitcoin is doing. But of course, altcoins, they follow Bitcoin closely. Bitcoin is the king and altcoins follow. On this chart, you see the Bitcoin price. On this chart, you see the altcoin market. And you can see that they peak at the same time, they bottom out at the same time, then they peak again at the same time. So they follow each other really closely. But altcoins are more volatile than Bitcoin. And in certain periods, that means that they go up more than Bitcoin. And also in other periods, they go down more than Bitcoin. The increased volatility of the altcoins is cyclical, and we can trade it. And that's where the altcoin cycle comes. Because in every bull market, like this one, or in this one, we have these altcoin cycles, which you can see here. An altcoin cycle is just a Bitcoin season and an altcoin season. And in the Bitcoin season, Bitcoin outperforms altcoins. So you want to hold more Bitcoin than altcoins because altcoins are underperforming. During an altcoin season, you want to hold more altcoins because altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. So you want to be Bitcoin heavy during the Bitcoin season and altcoin heavy during the altcoin season. That's basically how you trade the altcoin cycle. And timing this is the key to compounding your returns exponentially. This altcoin cycle lasted from Q4 of 2022 all the way up to Q2 of 2024. And you can see that in the first 3 quarters, Bitcoin, the brown line, outperformed altcoins, the red line. So for example, in this quarter, we see Q4 2022, altcoins put in negative 30% returns roughly, while Bitcoin put in positive returns of 10% or something. Next quarter, we see that altcoins put in like 55% returns, while Bitcoin put in like 70% returns. And then in Q2, Bitcoin put in positive returns, altcoin negative returns. So for 3 quarters in a row, Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins, and you would have wanted to hold Bitcoin more than you held altcoins. But then something changed. In Q3, we see that Bitcoin put in negative returns. So this is the 0% line. Bitcoin put in negative returns, altcoins put in positive returns. So Bitcoin is starting to underperform. And then next quarter, the same is true. Bitcoin put in like 55%, while altcoins put in over 100% returns. So this is the altcoin season. For 3 quarters in a row, altcoins outperformed Bitcoin. And this is what you need to trade, the altcoin cycle. You want to hold Bitcoin during the Bitcoin season and hold more altcoins during the altcoin season. You want to go back and forth between the seasons. And trading these altcoin cycles is all about getting more Bitcoin. You don't care about the dollar price. You don't care about the dollar value of your portfolio. Just denominate everything in Bitcoin and you try to increase your Bitcoin bag. So maybe you buy 1 Bitcoin during the Bitcoin season and then you hold the Bitcoin until it's altcoin season, and then you buy altcoins using your Bitcoin, and then you hold the altcoins for the altcoin season, and then you can buy back 3 Bitcoin at the end of the altcoin season. And then when a new altcoin season comes, you can buy 3 Bitcoins worth of altcoins. And then when you hold the altcoins and they outperform, you can buy back 9 Bitcoin at the end of the next altcoin season. So you exponentially increase your returns by increasing your Bitcoin holdings, while Bitcoin is also going up in price. So that's the exponential returns or the compounding returns. To summarize this strategy, you want to use the market cycle to time the bear and the bull markets. And during the bear markets, you want to accumulate BTC, specifically at the end of the bear market and going into the accumulation phase. That's when you want to dollar cost average, just increase the Bitcoin bag, and you stay away from altcoins because altcoins are horrible investments during the bear markets. They crash like a stone in water. During the bull markets, you want to trade the altcoin cycle to get more Bitcoin. And then you cash out towards the top of the bull markets. and then you wait until the end of the bear market and you start accumulating Bitcoin again, staying away from altcoins. And when the new bull market comes, you start trading altcoin cycles again, cash out, rinse and repeat. This is the strategy. So assuming you can do this for 3 market cycles, roughly 12 years, you can actually expect to make 270x, almost 300x. That sounds insane, but it's actually not. Just look at the numbers. Let's assume that from the time you enter crypto to the time you exit crypto in the first market cycle, the Bitcoin price goes 3x. And you're never going to time the absolute peak of the bull market and the absolute bottom of the bear market. So let's just assume that you enter at, let's say, 2x the bottom price. So if you enter at 2x the bottom price, you would need the Bitcoin price to go 6x for your returns to be 3x. And if you assume that maybe you exit at, let's say, 80% of the peak price, then you would need to divide it by 0.8, which means that the Bitcoin price needs to go 7.5x from bottom of the cycle to top of the cycle if you want 3x when you enter at double the bottom price and you exit at 80% of the peak price. Hope that makes sense. So you would need, or our assumption is that you are somewhat proficient at trading the cycle and that Bitcoin goes 7.5x from bottom to top. And that's nothing compared to previous cycles. So that's the first assumption. The second assumption is that you manage to 3x your Bitcoin bag trading the altcoin cycles. That's also not unrealistic at all. So if you manage to 3x your Bitcoin bag and Bitcoin goes 3x in price, you get a 9x ROI in the first market cycle. In the second market cycle, we assume that Bitcoin goes 2.5x from when you enter to when you exit crypto. We then need the Bitcoin price to go, let's see, 2.5x times 2, because you enter at 2x the bottom price. And we also assume again that you exit at 80% of the peak price. We just divide by 0.8 and you get 6.25. So for us to get a 2.5x return on our Bitcoin, we need the Bitcoin price to go 6.25x. Make sense? And again, we assume that you manage to 3x your Bitcoin bags trading the altcoin cycle. If you do this, you get a 2.5 times 3x return, which is 7.5x. So that's the market cycle number 2. On the third market cycle, we assume that Bitcoin goes 2x. And to go 2x, we need the price to go at least double that, because you enter at 2x the bottom price. That's 4x, and then we divide it by 0.8, which is 5x. So we just need the Bitcoin price to go 5x from the absolute bottom to the absolute peak of the market cycle for us to get a 2x when we enter at 2x the bottom price and exit at 80% of the peak price. Again, we assume that you manage to trade the altcoin cycle, and this time only 2x. So if the price of Bitcoin goes 2x and your Bitcoin bags doubles, you'll get a 4x return. Okay? So in the first cycle, you got 9x, then you got 7.5x, and then you got a 4x. Compounded, this equals 270x. So let's check it out just to be sure. That's a 270x return. To become a millionaire using this strategy, you would need to invest $3,700. That's just crazy. If you think that this is just BS, this is not true at all, this is unrealistic to expect, leave a comment. I would love to see a discussion about this, because I can't see where it breaks. The assumptions are rather conservative. I don't expect you to time the top. I don't expect you to time the bottom. I don't expect you to find the next best meme coin. I don't expect you to find the next Solana. This is just some basic principles and strategies compounding over 12 years. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. The algorithm loves it. Thank you for the support, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.